I'm sure every single one of you have probably heard the stock phrase or like the bumper sticker phrase of God loves you or Jesus died for you. And especially when we live in like a westernized Christian world, we hear that a lot sometimes. And it can end up becoming a hollow statement, or it can just end up becoming white noise, or it can feel like some people are just a broken record with it. But I think that those two phrases, if we really stop and we think about what they really mean, we can get so much out of it. And in a way, the more we meditate on it, the more we can kind of get a glimpse of what heaven is like. I think a better way to kind of phrase these, because they're very basic, simple sentences. God loves you. It's a very simple sentence, and to an extent, it can feel a little hollow. But if we think of it more in a longer sense, it starts to hit a little bit deeper. For example, we could say something like, the creator of the universe, who created every single little speck of dust on the ground, every single tree in the forest, every grain of sand in the desert, every molecule of water in the ocean, created all the stars, all the planets, all the birds, all the fish, all the animals. He looked down at all of that and he still decided that you needed to be there. That's a really personal thing, that we didn't have to exist, but instead we were willed into existence, and every single moment that we have on this earth is willed to happen. I don't have to exist right now. You don't have to exist right now, but we do. And our mere existence is evidence of God's love for us. And the more you meditate on this statement, the more it becomes apparent. But it's also one of those things that you can meditate on for your entire life, thousands of lifetimes, and you'll still not be able to fully grasp every single part of God's love because it's so infinite. But these tiny little bits that we can grasp in these meditations is kind of a prefigurement of what heaven will be like for us. That the more and more that we meditate on God's love, the more we feel it, in a sense, the more that we can kind of see it in our lives, and we can be more appreciative of it in our lives. And that's to a very small extent. But in heaven, it's to its greatest extent, but it never plateaus. It always keeps growing, just like it does here in real life, except it is the fullness of it all. And that can kind of be generalized to just a personal God, not really the Christian God. But if we focus on the second statement, Jesus died for you, then we start to kind of see a way more personal God than just what was given to us in the first statement. That the God of the universe, who created everything, who made you, who willed you to live, he saw you, and he saw that you were broken. He saw that all of us were broken, that we were dead in sin, and we were apart from him. He decided not to just wave away the problem of evil, or to just wave away all people who are evil, just smite them down, but instead he decided to get down to the most personal level he possibly could have for humanity. He became one of us. He was born in a womb. He was birthed, and he went through every stage of life that we went through. He grew up the same as us. He experienced the same pain as us. He experienced all the same kind of emotions that we do. And that's way more personal than just an immaterial, invisible God. There still is depth to that, in that this God created us and wills us into existence, like I said earlier. But the fact that he decided to come down and become one of us not only shows how much he loves us, but what kind of extent he's going to for us. Because not only did he become a human being, but he paid the price for our wrongdoings. He did nothing wrong his entire life, not a single sin he committed. Yet he was brutally murdered, crucified on that cross. Why? For us. It's a physical reminder of our brokenness and the kind of things that our sin leads to. He didn't have to do it that way. He could have easily just waved it off. He could have even taken himself down from the cross if he wanted to. He said, enough, let's set everything straight. But he didn't. He died. And that's even more personal, that death is such a unique thing, honestly. We see death as like a very normal thing in life. Everything dies eventually. I will, you will, the deer in this forest will, the trees in this forest will, the ants crawling on the ground will. They'll all die, and that seems very normal to us. But when you consider that God being a maximally great being, he has always existed and will never cease to exist, which means that death is a very alien thing for him specifically. Not that he doesn't understand it, obviously, but that him experiencing it is not a normal thing. Yet he went through the same natural process that we did. He died. And he didn't just instantly die and then instantly come back. No, he was dead for 3 days too. So he went through the full process of death. And what's interesting is, in the Jewish tradition, you were declared completely dead by the 3rd day. That back then, by day 3, your spirit had completely detached from your body, because they believed that your spirit could still be attached to your body for a while after your death. That by the 3rd day, you were completely gone. So there's bigger depth into that he was dead in the Jewish tradition. Obviously, him being a Jew, and a lot of Christianity being tied to Judaism. So he went through the fullness of death. Then he came back. And he came back to show us who he truly was, and to fulfill everything that had been prefigured for thousands of years. That, when it's explained in that longer sense, I think we start to get a grasp of what it really meant to say Jesus died for you. And even just the fact that Jesus existed, that God became man. And obviously not all of it is going to make complete sense through just me saying it once. It's, like I said, it's one of those things that you meditate on for your entire lifetime, and you get something new out of it every single time. So, yeah, I hope this was helpful. God bless.